Okay, pangalawang problem. So we have a trapezoidal flume. Trapezoid po yan. Ito yung trapezoid niya. Is to convey 10 CFS, or this one is cubic feet per second. This is in English unit po. Across a ravine. Sisak ravine. At what slope should this flume be placed so that the water will be 2 feet deep? Ibig sabihin daw po, yung depth natin is 2 feet. Ano daw po yung slope natin? Use Manning's formula. Meron po tayong n na equivalent to 0.012. So, given na po yung ating mga slope, tsaka yung dimension, which is the D. Okay? Naintindihan? So, punta tayo dito. Meron tayong 60 degree angle. Okay? So, para po dito, gagamit po tayo ng Manning's formula. So, para sa Manning's formula, i-recall lang natin, meron po tayong V. Pero since this is an English, we need to use English language also, okay? So, we have the 1.486. This one is the factor, conversion factor. So, this is derived also, no? So, we have R raised to 2/3 and then S raised to 1/2. And then, we have over N, which is the Manning's coefficient. Alright, for this one, we have the area of the, what's this one? Trapezoidal flume, which is 1/2 is equivalent times the base 1 plus base 2, top or bottom, times the depth or the D of the flume. Let's try to solve for the area first, since this is quite challenging, no? Okay, don't be confused, since this is a very easy geometry problem. So this one is 3 feet. Alright, so we have the 3 feet also here, but we don't have the additional length at the top, width. So for this one, we will use trigonometry or geometry. So we have 2 inch here, and then this one is 60 degrees. So automatic, this one is 30 degrees. Okay, so for this one, we have this opposite side. And then this one is the adjacent side. Alright, so for this opposite side, you can use SOHCAHTOA. So since we have the adjacent and then the opposite, we have TOA, tangent, 30 degrees is equivalent to the opposite over the adjacent 2 feet. So for the op, we have 2 tangent 30. This one is the opposite. Let's try to solve for the opposite. Meron po tayong English pala. So we have 1.155. So for this one, we have 1.155. 1.155. Are we done now? No. We also have the sides. So since this is just the same, we have a similar side, no? So for this side, we have the hypotenuse. Since we have the adjacent, we can use the cosine. Cosine 30 degree. We have the adjacent over hypotenuse, or the S. So for the S, we have 2 feet divided by cosine 30. So we have 2.309 feet. Alright, so for this one, we can add the 1/2. We can add the width 3 plus 1.15. So we have here the total width 5.23. Yan na ilalagay natin dito. 5.23 plus 3, which is this one, bottom width. The depth is 2 feet. So we can get the value of area. It is equivalent to 8.31 feet squared. So this one is our area. Now, let's try to solve for the perimeter. So for the perimeter, we have this one. This side, the width, and then this side. So for this one, we have 2 side plus 2 side plus the bottom 1. Ay, bottom 2. So we have 2.309 plus 3 feet. So for the perimeter, we have 7.618. Alright, feet. So for the hydraulic radius, we have A over P. So this one is equivalent to 8.31 over 7.618. So solving for this one, we can get to 1.09 feet. Okay, so we have the A, we have the R. You can already solve for the amount of the S. But we're missing of the Q. The formula is V. So, but our given is 10 cubic feet. So, we can use the Q, area, times V. So, for the Q, you can add here 10. Alright. The area is 8.31. And then the V is this one. Okay, so we have this 1.486. The R is equivalent to 1.09. 2/3. And then the S is equivalent to unknown. Kasi yan po yung nahanap natin. Divided by the N, 0.012. So that's it for our equation. Ship solved, we can get the value of S or the slope. So the answer is very small. It is around 0.0000084. Yun. So that is the final answer for this problem. Don't be confused for the geometry part. So that is just some basic calculations. Right? Alright, so let's proceed with the sample problem number 3. An earth canal in good condition having a bottom width of 12 feet and side slope of 2 horizontal. So, ito po yung side slope niya. And then 1 vertical. So, meron daw itong 1 tsaka 2 slope. Side slope. Ayan po yung ratio niya dito. Is carrying water at a depth of 4 feet. Ito po. The slope of canal is 1.5 feet per 1 mile. Okay. So, yung 1 mile is equivalent to 500 or 5,280 feet. Okay? So, determine the discharge using N. Ito yung tatandaan natin na 0.02. Okay? Solve natin. So, para sa slope ng kanal, meron po tayong 1.5 feet. So, we have a 0.000284. Okay, so, yeah, let's write the formula for this one since we are looking for the discharge. We have the Q. And then the given is N, which is the Manning's formula. So, for the Manning's formula, using discharge, meron tayong A is equivalent to V. Q is equivalent to AV. And then the velocity is equivalent to 1.486 R 2/3 S 1/2 over N. Okay, for this one, we need to solve for the letter A or the area. For the area, meron tayong formula na 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the depth. But since we don't have the top width or the B2, yan yung B2, no? Hindi pa tayo makapag-solve ng area. So, ganito po. Since we have a 12 feet here, so automatic po ito 12 feet na, no? So, paano po natin ginagamit itong side slope? So, kung uma-observe nyo po, meron po ditong 4 feet. Ganito yung pagkuha niya, no? And then, yung horizontal niya is equivalent to 1. So, mangyayari po, yung vertical niya is equivalent to 1, yung horizontal is 2. So, ang gagawin natin, itong side na to, magigilang po siyang times 2 nitong 4. So, this one, 4 times 2, we have 8 feet. Okay? Pero if in case, this is 2, and then this one is 1, so, ang mangyayari po, kung 4, ito, yung vertical natin, ito po, mahati po yan sa dalawa. No? So, magigilang po itong 2. Okay? So, huwag po kayo malilito. Ganyan po yung paggamit ng side slope. So, since we have here 8 feet, ito po is 8 feet na din. So, yung total na width natin dito sa top is 12 plus 16. So, that is equivalent to 28 feet. Okay? So, for this one, we have the area 1 half 12 plus 28. Yung depth natin is 4 feet. So, yung area po natin dito is equivalent to 80 feet squared. Alright? So, for the wetted perimeter P, meron po tayong 12, of course. Meron din po tayo ditong side slope. Wherein, we don't know the value of that side slope. So, para po makuha natin yung side slope, we can consider that triangle, ito, 4, and then 8. So, for this one, pwede natin gamitin ng Pythagorean theorem. So, for the side slope S, can just put 8 squared plus 4 squared. So, for this one, we have 8 squared. So, para sa wetted perimeter, meron tayong 8.944 times 2. Kasi dalawa yung side slope natin. And then 12 feet. So, for this one, we can get the value of P. This is equivalent to 29.89 feet. Okay, so for the hydraulic radius, we have A over P. So, we have 80 feet squared over 29.89 feet. So, this one, we can get a value of 2.677 feet. Okay, so, ilalagay lang po natin siya dito sa ating formula, which is A times dV. So, yung A natin is 80 feet. And then, 1.486. And then, we have the R, 2.677. 2/3. Ay, hindi kasya. So, para naman po sa S, we have 0.000284, 1 half, and then for the N, that's given. So, solving for the Q, meron po tayong masosolve 193.1 cubic feet per second. So, that's for our final answer. Picture.